Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a video all about highlight and contouring. I get questions all the time asking me to do a video like this, so I figured I would do that for you guys today. I show you step by step how I highlight and contour on a daily basis or whenever I am doing my makeup. So highlighting and contouring is a huge beauty trend nowadays. Everybody, you see it everywhere on the models, on everyday basis. You see it everywhere, and a lot of people don't really know where to start, how to contour, what products to use, and all that good stuff. So I hope this video kind of breaks it down and was able to show you, the basics, and I really hope it was helpful for you guys. Please leave a comment down below if you have any questions. I will answer your comment. I usually answer back everybody that leaves a comment, and I just want to thank you guys. Just want to say thank you really quick for 2,000 subscribers. It means so much to me. I really appreciate whoever watches my videos or takes the time to leave a nice comment or give me a thumbs up. It means a lot to me. I do have another job. I'm a hairdresser, so when I'm working there and then when I have my days off, I like to film a video and throughout the week edit it so that I have, videos for you guys. So I hope you guys appreciate it, and if you guys want to see how to create a simple highlight and contour, then just keep on watching. The first thing that I do to highlight is I use my concealer, and I'm going to apply that under my eyes, on the bridge of my nose, my chin, my forehead, anywhere that I want to stand out. So I'm just going to do that really quickly. So as you can see, I look like a freak, but this is where you want to apply your highlight. I also like to apply some underneath where I'm going to be contouring. So right here. And today I'm using the Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer. This is a really good concealer. It's very lightweight, but it's also very covers really nicely. So I'm gonna go in with a beauty blender. And before I blend this out, I'm going to show you what I do for my contour. So this kind of varies. Sometimes I don't always use a cream contour, but just for the sake of this video, I'm going to show you. I like to use the Sonia Kashuk Warm Tan Cream Bronzer, and I just go in with a small brush like this, and I just get some of that on my brush, and I'm going to apply this anywhere that I want to create a shadow or have the contour. And so I'm just going to place this on my cheekbones. And to find your cheekbones, if you have an issue, trying to figure out where they are, if you line your brush up from your ear to your mouth, your contour should be right in there. And if you, suck in your cheeks, right here, wherever it kind of sucks in, that's where you want to apply your contour. And then I also like to apply this on my temples to create a shadow. So I'm going to be doing that. So I'm putting that here, and then I put a little bit on the top. So like I said, anywhere that you want to be kind of slimmer, that's where you're going to put the darker shade, and anywhere that you want to stand out is where you're going to put the highlight. So I also like to sometimes put some contour down my nose, so I'm just going to do that, and also put some here. Also, I like to put some of the contour underneath my lip. The reason why I'm doing that is because it creates a shadow underneath your lip, so it kind of makes you look like you have a bigger, larger bottom lip. So that's a trick that I like to use, so I just put that there. And then also, if you want to create a shadow underneath your jaw, you can put some of the contour right under here and create a shadow. So I like to do that. And then, so once everything's looking crazy, you are going to blend this all in. So I'm using a beauty blender. This is, well, it's not the beauty blender, this is the Real Techniques sponge. And I'm going to use this to blend everything out. And then we're gonna be setting it after with an actual contour powder and some highlight after. So I'm just going to blend this all together. So I like to blend the highlight out first, and then I'll go in and blend the contour darker shades out just so that we don't make a mess on our sponge. So once everything is blended, you always want to set anything that you're putting cream on your face with a powder. If you don't set the cream, it's just going to smudge around throughout the day and just make a mess. You don't always have to use a cream bronzer to create a, contour. If you are just in a rush, you can always just use the powder. But if you do the cream, it really keeps everything in place. Like if you're going out for the night and you really want everything to stay, then the cream contour is a really good step to use because it really just locks everything in place. So I am a huge fan of the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. This palette has changed my whole contour game pretty much. I really like these shades in here. This one I obviously use a lot. These two I really liked for setting my under eye until I found a new powder, but I really like this powder to contour with. I use this one sometimes too. This one's a little too dark for me, but I'm sure once I run out of these I can make this work. You can find this at Sephora. It is a $50 palette, but I'm telling you, it really is worth it. And I want to say that I think she is going to create these individually, which will be really awesome because I don't use really this orangey shade back here. Like I said, I use these three shades the most. So what I do is I go in with a Morphe M3 brush, and it looks like this. It's really nice to contour with. And you can go on the Morphe website and order this. It's not too expensive, and if you're looking for a really good contour brush, I would really recommend this one. So what I do is I just dip my brush in here. I kind of mix these two together, and I tap off the excess. And what I do to create the contour is I really just apply exactly where I was applying the cream contour. So like I said, if you don't know where your contour should be, just line your ear up with your mouth, and that's where you want to contour. Another huge trick is don't bring your contour in too far down. Then it can start to look fake and muddy, and we don't want that. So you want to stop your contour probably midway. I usually stop where the corner of my eye ends, so usually about this far. I don't recommend bringing your contour in too far deep because it can then tend to look fake, obvious, and muddy like I said. So what I'm going to do is just apply this really gently. I'm not putting too much pressure onto my brush. I'm just letting the brush kind of work itself. And as I'm applying this, I am kind of moving in circular motions to also further blend it. And it's really simple, guys. Once you find out where your face, wants to be contoured, if that makes sense, once you figure out like where you should be contouring, it's gonna be really simple. It's really just practice, and you know, I didn't just one day wake up and know exactly where to contour my face. It took a lot of time to figure it out. So I'm just going to blend that out, and as you can see, I'm gonna go in with the other side and just apply this. And like I said, I'm applying it very gently and also kind of working in circular motions to blend that out so that it's not a complete harsh line. And then we are going to apply some more on the temples. So I just like to kind of move my brush back and forth like this. That way it's applying the shade and also blending it at the same time. And I'm going to do the same for the other side. We're leaving the center of our face nice and light and bright. So you don't want to apply any of the contour anywhere down here, just away from your face, because if the sun was shining down, it would naturally hit just the outside portion of your face. So you want to, like I said, contour just the outer portions. And then I'm going to go in and blend my neck out. This is a really simple trick to create a jawbone or jawline if you don't have a pronounced one. Mine is pretty pronounced, so I don't need to do this, but I like to just show you guys just in case you weren't aware of that. Then for my nose, I just go back in with that same shade, and I just very lightly, I would recommend using a smaller brush, so I'm just going to go back in with the brush that I was using before and just lightly. You want to be very careful when it comes to doing this. You don't have to do this, but it really just makes everything look even, because if you just contour your outer face and just leave your nose blank, it can kind of look weird. But I mean, I don't always contour my nose every day, but it's just something that I like to do just to kind of even everything out. So then I'll just take a big fluffy brush and just go over everything that I did. This is the e.l.f. Kabuki brush, and I like to just do that. Now to set everywhere that we highlighted, I really recommend this translucent powder. This is the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. I use this in a lot of my videos, and what I do is I shake some out onto the cap, and then I go in with the Sigma tapered highlight brush. You can use any brush that's small like this, and I really just get a good amount of powder on there, and I put it anywhere that we highlighted. So underneath your eyes, you really want to set that concealer because you do not want that to crease throughout the day, and you want to just keep everything set in place. So I'm just going to set that underneath my eyes and anywhere that I put that highlight. So down the bridge of your nose, onto your chin, and just in the middle of your forehead. So if you are comfortable with this, you can stop here. You don't have to go any further. But if I'm, really trying to get a really intense, sharp line, this is what they call the baking technique. So I'm just going to show you guys what it is. So the baking technique is just a way of really setting that everything in place, like even further than just applying normal powder. So what you would do is put a very large amount of powder into your cap, and then I like to go in with the Morphe M3 brush, and it looks like this. It is just very dense, and it's really good for what I'm going to show you. So like I said, if you want to leave your contour at this, you definitely can, but I go in and I just dip my brush in here. So this step just creates that really intense contour and makes everything really clean. So what you want to do is go underneath where you're contouring. So anywhere that the shadow kind of stops, you're going to draw out a line, and you're going to follow that all the way down to the corner of your mouth. So like that. So it looks like this once you are done. You're gonna leave this on for, you know, anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. If you wanna do this step before you finish your eyes, then you can. And what you're gonna do once it sits is just wipe it away, and it really just cleans any bronzer that you got too far low, and it just makes everything nice and crisp. So it should look something like this once everything is carved out. I also will put some on the bridge of my nose just to set that in place, onto my chin, and on my forehead, anywhere that we highlighted. You can also do this underneath your eyes, but when I set my eyes in place, I really do put a lot of powder on there anyway. So this is when I like to go in with my blush, because it makes it a lot easier to see where you want to apply it once everything is kind of set in place like this. So I go in with my Morphe E4 blush brush, and I'm just going in with my Milani Tea Rose blush. This is a really good drugstore blush, and I'm just going to apply this right here, kind of almost overlapping the bronzer, but I don't like to apply my blush too close to my cheeks. I've been starting to apply my blush a little further back. So I'm just applying this over top of the contour so that everything just blends nicely. You don't want it to be like, oh, here's her blush, here's her contour, here's her bronzer. You want it to just kind of all go together. So I just apply that over the contour like that. Now I'm going to wipe away all of this bakage. So I'm just going to go in with my same highlight brush that I was using, and you just want to brush down. You don't want to brush up and disrupt the line that you just put there. So I'm just going to wipe that away and move it in back and forth motions like this. So now once you have everything wiped away, it should look something like this. Now for highlight, what I do is you can always just go in and use a normal powder highlight and just apply it on your cheekbones, but I like to go in with a cream and then set it with a powder highlight afterwards, because this is just going to be a full coverage kind of contour technique that I like to use. So you can use any cream highlight that you want. This is the ColourPop shade in Lunch Money, and it's the Super Shock Cheek highlight, and it looks like this. You always want to apply your highlight anywhere that you want the highest point of your face to be. So with that being said, I'm going to apply it right here because this is the highest point of my cheekbone. I also like to apply it down the bridge of my nose because then that makes your nose kind of stand out, and then I put it above my lip to make my lip kind of look more pouty. So I'm going to take the cream, and I'm just using my finger to warm it up, and I'm just going to pat this right on the top of my cheekbone, and I'm just blending this in as I'm patting it in. The reason why I'm using my finger is because it's going to warm up the product instead of just kind of going on really harsh. So I'm just going to do the same thing on this side and just apply this anywhere that I want the highest point of my cheekbone to be. Go in and apply some to just the tip of my nose, and then just the top middle part of my nose right here, so right on the bridge. The reason why I don't go straight down is because you want it to kind of create that button nose effect, so you want to keep the right here, you want that to still kind of have like a shadow effect. Go in and just apply some on my Cupid's bow right above my lip. To set that highlight in place, I'm going in with the Laura Geller Gilded Honey highlighter, and I'm going to use the highlight brush that I always use for my highlight, and this is the M501. It kind of reminds me of the Sigma tapered highlight, but this I use just for like powder, and then this is what I use for like any sort of shimmery highlight. So I'm just going to go in with this, and I'm going to apply this anywhere that I put that cream highlight. So I'm going to put that just on the top of my cheekbones here. I will go in and just put a tiny bit of highlight just anywhere that I would, you know, normally want the lightness of my face to be. I don't want it to be like shimmery on my forehead, but I just do apply a little bit on my chin and my forehead, just a little bit, because anytime you're doing something like this, you want your face to be balanced. You don't want it to be like, oh, there's a highlight here, there's this here, there's this here. It just kind of all blends when you do a little bit everywhere. Okay, so I just finished up my eyes. I just applied more mascara on the lower lash line, and I just did my lips. For my lips, I just used the Sugar Wafer lipstick. Not a surprise, I use this in all my videos. And then I just topped it with the Babylips lip gloss, and I don't remember which shade this is, but I think it's the peach one, but it's just a really baby pink, you know, peachy shade. I really like to use these two together to create what I have on right now. So that is pretty much it, guys. I hope this was really helpful. This video was really highly requested, and a lot of people just wanted to see, you know, the basics on how I contour and highlight, and I really hope that this video was helpful for you guys. If you guys have any questions, just leave it down below and I will answer. I try to answer everybody's comments. So with that being said, I guess I will see you guys in my next video.